Hey friends, this is Life Coach Rich, and I want to give you some tips. If you're thinking about starting a keto diet, then I've been on it for 7 weeks now, and so here's a few tips for you that I've discovered along the way. I sort of went into it cold turkey, and then definitely some tips for you to try to do it a little bit better than I did. The results after you get adjusted to things and you get going, I think the results are great, and you feel better, more consistent energy. You're not thinking about food all the time. You're not just chasing the next carb and the next carb, and then you also are going to take better control of your health and see better health markers and from blood work and stuff, and improving your health. So just some tips that I have for you. I would say first is to track your meals at the beginning. Track your meals so that you don't undereat or overeat. It's real easy to overeat, or it's also easy to undereat whenever you're prioritizing fats and protein. Then you're a lot more satiated. You're not thinking about the next cracker or granola bar or chips or snack or M&Ms or donuts, or you're not thinking about that stuff all the time, and you can go hours without needing to eat again. But you do want to track it just so that you start to understand, okay, this is kind of how I can eat, and this is how many calories that it's giving me. The program that I used was Chronometer, and it's free. It was a free account to set that up, and then it's got a great little feature on there that you can scan a barcode. It didn't matter if it was baby carrots or olive oil or anything, or some some a steak that you bought. Then you can scan that barcode, and then it's going to pull it up right there, and it's going to get automatically. You just put in the ounces or whatever, and then it automatically calculates that for you on that day, so that you can continue to track what you have that day. It's real easy. So just getting started, I've tracked my stuff for the first probably 3 to 4 weeks. The last few weeks I haven't been tracking things now because I have sort of a set way that I eat, and so that I know that I'm going to stay within under those carbs that I already have planned in for my smoothie. I have another video related to a healthy smoothie that I do. It's natural with some greens in it. So I do those daily as well with avocado and Greek yogurt and stuff in it. So check that one out. That'll be in my playlist for my health playlist. You can check that out, please. And then, so track that. Definitely want to track it so that you can kind of get used to what you're doing. And then I would suggest at the beginning, next, prioritize your electrolytes at the very beginning. That's going to minimize the keto flu that you have. So make sure you're having plenty of liquids and plenty of salt. You can get element packets, or you can just get supplements to supplement the magnesium and salt. And I do, like now, and potassium. Those three, like an element, LMNT. But I just don't use those. I mean, I have some of those, but I just supplement those with supplements. I can take a couple of potassium pills and then some magnesium throughout the day, and then a quarter teaspoon of salt in 32 ounces of the natural sea salt. Then that's going to give me 1,000 milligrams of once I drink that 32 ounces. It's just slightly salty, and that's going to be the same as if you put the element packet into 32 ounces. It's slightly salty as well. So prioritize that thing at the beginning. Is taking care of your electrolytes so that you'll minimize the effects of the keto flu. The next thing is to also help minimize the effects of keto flu is that you can ease into it. You can replace regular meals with keto meals. Experiment with that. Get you a keto cookbook and experiment with some of those meals, and you'll see that you can have great meals. Mexican food, seafood that you can put in stuff with beef. And it's great, and slowly start to replace these meals of just all pasta and just a little bit of spaghetti sauce, which has a lot of added sugar anyway. Then you're gonna choose those better meals. Start by implementing some of these meals and get used to some things, and you can introduce that slowly. You can say, we're no longer going to have this meal. I'm going to replace it with this meal, and try some different stuff out and get some great meals that you love. And it takes a little bit of work, but it's just like you needed to work to figure out these certain meals if you're cooking them on your own. Some of the favorites that you might already cook. So that's what I'd say. Replace those slowly. You don't have to do it all at once, and then boom, all of our throw out everything out of the kitchen, and we're only going to do all this stuff. You can ease into it and start making progress over a month or two. It's not like you have to do everything right all at once. Okay, I'm giving you the freedom to do that. Progress into it, and start with focusing specifically on added sugar and especially sugary drinks. Get rid of any Kool-Aid, Gatorades, Powerades, any of that. Even if it's zero sugar, don't have the artificial sugar in there. And again, if you need to wean yourself off of that, wean yourself off of these, and get rid of the soda and all the added sugar and coffee and tea and sweet tea and all this kind of stuff. Start with those high sugar things that you consume, and that's gonna go in the right direction as you also start changing your meal plans a little bit slowly, one by one, and experimenting with those. So remember that tip is it doesn't all have to happen at once. You just make a little progress day after day towards those goals of making better health choices, and then you'll get there. And then what does this do for your body? It helps keep your insulin a lot lower. You begin to improve your health. It lowers chronic, it basically starts to lower and eliminate eventually the chronic inflammation that we have in our bodies from all the glucose that we constantly, all the glucose and carbs that we constantly consume. And then it reduces that oxidative stress on our body that is a response to all of the constant high levels of glucose that we have in our bloodstreams and high levels of insulin. So it keeps our glucose and insulin lower, which overall helps all of our other metabolic markers, blood pressure, different parts of our blood tests, things that we can get tested, and I'll talk about those in a blood test one. It's going to improve your health. So if you're thinking about, there's some tips. I have some pros and cons videos as well. Please check those out. I've been on it for 7 weeks now, and I'm going to continue to go for it. So it's working really well for me. Feel so much better. And it also gives me confidence because I've taken control of my health instead of being on the carb. It's like I was a rat before. I'm just on this, or a mouse, just on this constant carb wheel. I'm just constantly chasing carbs and just chasing carbs. And if I get too long without my next carbs, then I'm hangry, hungry and angry. And so it's just like I'm on this little carb wheel, and now I've jumped off of it, and a lot more steady energy and stuff. And that's part of the con. That's part of the pros of being on the keto diet is that well, you can check out that video. But these are some tips, and this one that hopefully you'll be able to do it a little bit smarter than I did, and learn from my mistakes. But it's definitely worth it if you want to go in that direction. I definitely recommend that. It's been great. That's it. Thank you for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.